A woman at the center of Sean's orbit and business empire could potentially hold the key to the prosecution. She is Kristina Khorram. Producer Rodney Jones used this same photo, calling Khorram the Ghislaine Maxwell to Sean Combs' Jeffrey Epstein.
So this new lawsuit just came out that shows tons of evidence that P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, has been running a blackmail operation very much like Jeffrey Epstein, but in the rap and music industry for basically 30 years.
If you thought things couldn't get any wilder with Diddy sitting behind bars, think again, because this is just the beginning. So the feds are now allegedly going after Diddy's chief of staff, Kristina Khorram, who's being referred to as the Ghislaine Maxwell, after Jeffrey Epstein's infamous accomplice, who's currently serving 20 years in prison for her despicable crimes against young victims. And there are some disturbing similarities between the Epstein case and Diddy's whole situation. So let's jump right into it and talk about this Kristina Khorram person, aka Diddy's Ghislaine Maxwell.
Diddy posted this photo of her to Facebook saying, "Kristina, aka KK, keeps everything in my life and my business running. She's my right hand."
So Kristina Khorram has been working side by side with Diddy for years and has allegedly played a huge role in his ex-empire. And now, word on the street is that she's going missing. There are whispers that Kristina may have disappeared right as the feds ramped up their investigation, and word on the street is that she also took a whole bunch of evidence with her. Now let's start with some backstory on Kristina Khorram, because her name has been thrown around a lot lately. If you've been keeping up with all this Diddy drama, you'll know that he's been under heavy fire for his alleged extorting and trafficking charges, and Kristina, as Diddy's chief of staff, has been right by his side. Some insiders are saying she wasn't just an assistant, but the mastermind behind the scenes, pulling the strings and luring young victims into Diddy's freak-offs. Kristina started working with Diddy back in 2013 at Bad Boy Records and quickly climbed the ladder. By 2020, she was promoted to chief of staff, and Diddy himself couldn't stop singing her praises. He literally said he couldn't function without her. In a Facebook post, Diddy called her KK and credited her for keeping his world twirling. On January 21st, 2021, Diddy shared this photo of Kristina on his Facebook page and wrote, "Meet Kristina Khorram, Chief of Staff at Combs Enterprises. Kristina, aka KK, keeps everything in my life and business running. She's been my right hand for the last 8 years and has consistently proven to execute and get it done. Don't know how I'd function without her." Now, I don't know about why all, but when someone's that close to the action, you know they're deep in the mix. But here's where it gets really sketchy. People are saying Kristina was involved in organizing Diddy's notorious freak-offs. Kristina reportedly actively recruited ex-workers and victims for the freak-off sessions, some of them allegedly underage, just like Ghislaine Maxwell was accused of doing for Jeffrey Epstein. Kristina allegedly enabled Diddy's sick fantasies, as well as his rumored blackmail ring, and it didn't stop there. She's been described as Diddy's manipulator-in-chief, with sources claiming that she helped maintain Diddy's trafficking operation by managing all the logistics. She reportedly booked the hotel rooms and ordered freak-off supplies like IV fluid that Diddy would give to his victims to recover after days-long sessions. Does that not sound exactly like what we heard about Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein? The creepy parallels are just too much. Just like Ghislaine, Kristina is being accused of using her charm and influence to lure vulnerable women into Diddy's sick parties. And the fact that she's now going missing? Yeah, she's looking really guilty. Now, Kristina also deleted her Instagram and LinkedIn account as soon as Diddy was arrested, and her only social media still up is her old Facebook page. But there's nothing there about Diddy or her employment at Bad Boy. There are mainly posts and photos from her college days. Now, according to Diddy's federal indictment, he is alleged to have used certain employees, including high-ranking supervisors, to carry out, facilitate, and cover up his commercial trafficking. According to the indictment, these supervisors facilitated Diddy's freak-offs, which included hiring ex-workers and stocking the hotel rooms in advance with the required freak-off supplies, including controlled substances, baby oil, lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. But the indictment didn't actually name any of Diddy's employees who were helping him organize these freak-offs. But remember that lawsuit filed by Diddy's former producer, Rodney Lil Rod Jones, back in February? Well, Lil Rod named everybody, and he alleged in his suit that Kristina Khorram was the driving force behind Diddy's trafficking operation. Lil Rod claims that Kristina knowingly and intentionally facilitated this trafficking venture, and he even alleged that she was the one who provided illicit substances to everyone involved in those freak-off parties. Lil Rod also described how he complained to Kristina after Diddy started making moves on him and apparently tried to lure him into freak-offs. But Kristina dismissed Lil Rod's complaints and told him, "Sean will be Sean." The lawsuit states, as a heterosexual Christian man, Mr. Jones was uncomfortable with Mr. Combs' advances and expressed his discomfort to Mr. Combs' chief of staff, Kristina Khorram. KK Khorram responded to Mr. Jones' complaint with "You know Sean will be Sean." According to Lil Rod's lawsuit, KK also attempted to downplay Mr. Combs' groping of Mr. Jones' anus and genitals as friendly horseplay, stating that those acts were Mr. Combs' way of showing you that he likes you. Lil Rod then goes on to describe how, despite these assurances, on several occasions when Mr. Combs began to undress and walk around his house naked, KK would say, "Okay, I'm leaving now," and she would disappear. KK's hypocrisy is breathtaking at best, or enabling at worst, Lil Rod said. Mr. Jones believes that KK aided and abetted Mr. Combs' sexual assault, and was working with Mr. Combs to groom him into accepting a homosexual relationship through these sexually deviant acts. One would say Mr. Combs has a pattern and practice of engaging in such nefarious activity. This ongoing conduct shows that Mr. Combs cannot be rehabilitated. Later in the lawsuit, Lil Rod talks about the financial side of Diddy's trafficking operation and alleges that Diddy's accountant, Robert Greenhill, would ensure the wiring, funds transfer, or cash payments to ex-workers, while Frankie Santella, Moy Bon, Brendan Paul, and KK would also be responsible for ensuring payment to ex-workers in cash. By the way, Kristina Khorram is the same woman Diddy's ex and mother of his son was threatening to smack on IG last year after Justin was arrested for DUI. Misa took to IG and shared a bunch of stories dragging Diddy to hell and back, talking about how everyone has to sit around for years and act like there isn't anything wrong with you. "This is where the book stops for me." Misa then called out Kristina, seemingly alleging that Diddy sent Kristina to handle her. Misa wrote, "And Kristina, if you ever try to handle me again, I will go straight across your head." But Misa has been really silent since the feds got involved in Diddy's case, and word on the street is that she got paid some serious money to keep her mouth shut. Now, back to Kristina. Just a few days after Cassie filed her lawsuit back in November, paparazzi took these photos of Diddy looking really worried, with Kristina sitting next to him. But this was most likely staged to show Diddy looking remorseful, but whatever he was trying to achieve with this clearly didn't work. So, knowing all these things about Kristina Khorram, what are the chances that Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein were running similar operations at overlapping times, targeting different high-profile individuals, but with the same outcome? I mean, we know extortion and blackmail happen all the time in these elite circles, and they need front people to keep the operation running. And as we've seen with Ghislaine Maxwell and many other similar cases, it's easier for these sick men to entrap women when they have a woman doing their bidding for them as the middle person. So disturbing and disgusting, but sadly not surprising. Now, word on the street is that the feds are already on Kristina's tail, and it's already been confirmed by people working on Diddy's case that there will be more indictments coming soon. As for fans, they're saying Kristina will probably sing like a canary once they bring her in, and there's no way she's getting out of this one. Unless, of course, they pull an Epstein on her too before she names any names of Diddy's party guests. One user on X said, "Oh, Kristina Khorram, she's going to be a major informer and going to spill every bit of tea cause she knows if she doesn't, she's going to jail for life too." And someone else wrote, "The Ghislaine Maxwell to P. Diddy." Epstein. Diddy was the a penny crook with big dreams and little talent, given a role at the top of the game with zero credentials and an army of fixers to make sure he could get away with it. Khorram was the intelligence agent that filled his little black book for him. She brought the celebrities in, placed the kids at the parties, and let Diddy host it all. But what's your take on these comparisons between Kristina Khorram and Ghislaine Maxwell? And do you think Kristina will be the next one to go down after Diddy? Let me know how you feel about all of this in the comments section below, and don't miss out on this next video.